Now, Trump was forced to correct himself this week after claiming to have seen video of millions in cash being handed over to the Iranian government. $400 million in foreign currency was flown to Iran by the U.S. at the same time 4 U.S. prisoners were being released. Now, that prompted Trump to claim the U.S. was paying for hostages. The video he actually saw was this of the Americans coming off a plane in Switzerland. The Obama administration says the money was part of a separate agreement that came out of a failed deal by Iran to purchase American fighter jets back in the 70s. But then, in the last few hours, CNN obtained this video from Iranian state TV. Now, the narrator says it shows a pallet of cash that was delivered to pay back Iran's money after 35 years in U.S. control. The video apparently first aired in Iran just days after the prisoners were released.
Let's go ahead and bring in our political analyst, Professor Michael Shires from Pepperdine University.
Good morning, Michael. Welcome back.
It's great to be here.
Well, we want to start out with Hillary Clinton. There were accusations that the U.S., again, paid that ransom for the release of those American hostages from Iran. But, that happened after Secretary Kerry was already in office. So how can this issue actually hurt her?
Well, you have to remember, she's hitched her wagon to the Obama train. She said, she's drawn very close to him. He's out campaigning for her. Anything that undermines the credibility of this administration is going to hurt the reputation of the party and her brand going into the election.
Wow. And in the wake of the DNC email scandal, another top 3 Democratic Party officials left their jobs. What does this mean?
Well, yeah, it's a party deeply divided. The Democratic Party, the Bernie Sanders wing, still hasn't reconciled with the leadership. Bernie Sanders has said, go vote for Hillary. They haven't decided to yet. When you have a divided party going into the general election like this, it's really scary for the candidate at the top of the ticket.
Now, we want to turn to Donald Trump now. A lot of people were surprised when he declined to endorse Paul Ryan and John McCain in their upcoming primaries. And it took a few days for him to actually throw in his support after they both supported him, although it was a little reluctantly. What do you think Donald Trump was thinking by taking so long to support them? Well,
part of it was Paul Ryan's hesitation to endorse him to start off. It's a little quid pro quo. But at the same time, that story became the damage control and the good news for Trump this week. Both candidates had horrible weeks. And, I have a scorecard here. There's been so many things. Got in a squabble with the family of an American hero. He had missteps where he summarized everything he's done wrong in this campaign. He had a conversation about nukes. It's just been a tough week. So this spat and the reconciliation that came at the end of the week was actually the positive spin news story for the week.
Yeah. A number of mainstream Republicans endorsed Clinton this week, including the former candidate for California Governor, Meg Whitman. Does this hurt or help Trump?
Well, it never helps you when somebody endorses the other side from your party. But it also points to the fact that, just like I was talking about, the Democrats are divided, Republicans are equally divided. You've got the never Trump crowd out there. You've got some of these folks that are being public in their support. You really have 4 parties going into this election. You have the Democrats that are willing to vote for Hillary, the ones that aren't, the Republicans willing to vote for Trump, and the ones that aren't. This is going to be a really low turnout election.
And finally, before we let you go, we want to look at a little polling. A McClatchy-Maris poll came out yesterday showing Clinton with a 15-point lead. Other surveys showed a smaller lead for Clinton, but can we read anything into these numbers, or is it just too soon?
Well, it's really soon because, as we saw this week, so much is going to happen in the next 100 days. But I think the other side of this, as I was talking about before, people are really turned off by both candidates. And so they're going to end up voting against someone if they choose who they're going to vote for. And at the end of the process, we don't know who's going to actually show up at the polls. So all the never Trump folks stay home. That kills the Republican. If all the Bernie folks stay home, that kills Hillary. So it really is a toss-up.
This is an election to watch.
It is.
Professor, thanks so much for your time this morning. And stay with KCAL 9 News and KCAL9.com for continuing coverage of Campaign 2016.